Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of season 6. If you've just joined, I'm Robyn of At a Tired Witch Everywhere, and I am joined by the beautiful, the goddess, the queen of us all, the mother of ailments.
Mother of ailments.
Maria of Magic with Maria Everywhere.
Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Hello.
We are going to be joined later this episode by the two co-founders. What do we call them? Founders?
Yeah, founders.
The co-hosts of the upcoming event that you probably have heard us talk about quite a few times, which is the Windy City Paranormal Festival. This is going to be, we are joined by Christine and Franky, and we're excited to have them. They're two parts of, I think they said a 4-part paranormal investigation team called T.W.A.T.
Yes, love it.
which is great. So as a reminder to you guys, if you want to or are going to be in the Chicago area, June 12th through 15th, Marie and I are going to be at their event on the main stage. We're going to be talking about tarot and ghosts, and we're going to have a booth where we're going to be doing readings. There's a prom. I just realized that there's a spooky prom night, which is going to be so fun. And they've just extended tickets to also have online streaming. So if you are interested in like being a part of the event, but you cannot come, they have online tickets now. So that's really exciting.
It is very exciting. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, me too. I'm really jazzed.
Also, so we have a new instructor this month, and for our classes that we do for Patreon, which we have changed it where you can buy the classes individually if you don't want to join the whole Patreon, and those are $10. And you can even go. Robyn was an absolute queen and went back to all the past ones and have those up for sale too. So if any of those interest you,
because some of them, it was when we had those technical issues early on, they weren't sadly available to be able to do that. But that's, I think there was only 3 of them.
Yeah, there was only 3
for that reason.
Yeah.
So the rest of them are all available, $10 each. So if you have been interested in one of our past classes, but you're like, I don't want to sign up for a subscription service, just go on there and you can buy that one class.
Yeah, and you can even join the class live if you join like a present one. So keep an eye out for that. But this month on April 26th, our next class is going to be with Christina Grace, the author of The Witch at the Forest Edge. And the class is going to be on hedge crossing, which I am so jazzed about. I'm so excited for it. So, I mean, and I highly recommend The Witch at the Forest Edge. That book is so good. Like 10 out of 10. And it's like a little
It's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
I actually just recommended it to a real life friend as one to kind of give her some inspiration because I thought she'd like it.
Yeah, it's a really good book. Definitely check it out. But yeah, come join us for that class.
Yes. And don't forget that if you want to be featured on one of our Coffee Talk episodes, you have 2 ways to send us stories. You can 3 ways technically. You can either email us at submissions@coffeeandcauldrons.com. You can head to our website, coffeeandcauldrons.com, and fill out a submission form, or you can leave us a voicemail at 351-207-0799. They do have a 3-minute cap, so just call back and we will smash them together. No problem. If you've just joined us this week, every week we talk about upcoming lunar phases and how you can utilize those in your magical practice. Now, that being said, the nearest one to us from when this episode comes out is going to be the full moon in Libra. This is on April 12th. And Libra is a good time to do justice spells. Libra is directly connected with the Justice Tarot card. So there is this kind of retribution that comes with Libra full moons, but it's also a very sexy card. I've never known a Libra who is not completely within their like knowing. Do you know what I mean? About their like sexual prowess. And I know that we say this about so many full moons, right? We say this about so many signs, being like, oh, they're so sexy. But I think that Libras are very confident. Yes, that comes out sexually, but it also comes out just like in a lot of different ways, and not confident like you might find in other signs that are kind of a little peacocky. Like, I'm a Leo moon. I'm very peacocky. We know this. But their confidence in like almost like an old soul kind of way. There's no need to show off. There's no need to peacock. It's just very like, I don't know, knowing.
Yeah.
So I would utilize the full moon in Libra for these two things. So either we're going to be doing justice spells, getting retribution, perhaps that you need to seek justice because things have not been going in your favor and you don't understand why, and you want to kind of swing the pendulum back in your direction. Little black cat reversals or something like that. Or we're going to kind of find our voice. These are both ways that I would utilize the full moon in Libra 100%. What about you, Maria?
I love your thing about how, Libras are more like, they show up like in that sexy way. I think it's the whole balance aspect. They know themselves. And I say this as a Libra rising. I just act like
Once
I know myself.
Again, Maria loves it because she resonates with it. She's like, it's about me.
I am very sad that the full moon didn't land on my birthday, which is on Monday. So.
I know. This is the first one in like 2 years, right?
Yeah. Not a special moon has hit on this birthday, but it's fine. It's fine. We're fine with that. We're fine with that this year. But no, I love working with Libra full moons because I feel like Libra, like it is such a vast sign when it comes to different themes to work with. You have balance, you have justice, you have glamour magic, you have relationship magic. Like it is just, it's just really encompassing. And then also like you can also use it to romanticize your life because Libras like to see the beauty in things, and also like art magic too. Like just have fun with the sign. If any of those like themes, like, oh, I really need that, you can go out and you can do it. Like go and put your like cosmetics underneath the Libra full moon to imbue that with like beauty magic. Or you could, think about like, where do you need more balance in your life? Like, are you doom scrolling too much? Do you want to do like more fun stuff where, you can approach the news like with a lot more level-headedness and not let it like completely ruin your day so you can keep fighting. Or even like if, all the politics stuff is getting to you, which fair, well, you can use the Libra full moon as a justice spell. Like go out there. Go explore, do it all, have fun, drink a lot of coffee that day, do all the spells.
Do all the spells. Or alternatively, don't have any coffee that day and drink water because you need to hydrate your body. You're not doing that enough. Get it together. Coffee is not the only beverages that are out there. This is why you guys have a headache. This is why you have a headache. Drink some water, please.
Look, I have water in one hand and coffee in the other. Sip the coffee, take a drink of water. Coffee, water, coffee, water.
You're so unbelievably full of shit. It's crazy.
So, if you just joined, every single episode we talk, well, not every single episode, not coffee talk episode.
Every single episode.
Well, we do talk about tarot a lot. But anyways, we like to go over tarot cards. In past seasons, we have gone over individual meanings of cards. We've gone over themes of cards. We have gone over like the whole different sections in tarot. Like we have done it all. And this season, we're doing the shuffle and draw, just kind of like a little group reading. And this week I am using Tarot of the Drowning World, which if you're on YouTube, like check out the size of this deck. It is literally like almost the size of my face.
That deck so bad, so badly. so badly. It's one of those decks that I continuously I'm like, I'm gonna treat myself, and then I talk myself out of it because it's like it's an indie deck, so it costs a little bit more money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie and tell you that I haven't like totally messaged the creators and been like, what if you just send me one?
I will talk it up. But
they are well within their rights that they have said. Well, they haven't said anything. They've just ignored me. I'd ignore me too. That's fine.
But it's one of those like rare decks that is a photography deck. Like, look at this card. Look how beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful. The death card kills me every single time I see it.
It's gorgeous. It is so pretty. But if I pulled death, that would be really great. Okay, let's go ahead and shuffle and see what falls out. Oh, okay. Oh, no. I accidentally forgot to remove the card that's like, this is the deck you are using. And that's the card that decided to pop out. Okay, let's see here. We have the Nine of Swords. You're on YouTube. This is it.
So beautiful.
Okay, so Nine of Swords. Anxiety, nightmares, like, you know, those nights where you're just so stressed out, like you're so stressed out, you cannot go to sleep, or you keep waking up and you're like sweating and you're like, your nervous system's like all dysregulated and you just can't stop thinking about all the stuff that is going wrong and is weighing heavily on you. This is this card. Like, everything you're feeling is absolutely valid. You know, it's just like the Five of Cups. You kind of like have to go through it to get through it. But it's also a lot of these things, you know, most of the time anxiety is not based in reality. So it's just like us worrying worst case scenario. We want to organize. We want to plan. We don't want, you know, the bad stuff to happen. And that is completely overwhelming. And obviously those feelings are valid. But this card kind of like tells you that this is not based in reality. It's a nightmare. It's not real. Are there real aspects? Absolutely. But, you know, it's kind of, you have to work through it. I always say to talk to friends, go talk to a therapist, you know, just go out there and talk about your feelings. And, you know, maybe if you're waking up repeatedly, instead of like making yourself try to fall back to sleep, I'm always a fan of like getting up, go journal, go sit down, go meditate, like just do something that helps recenter yourself so you can go back and try to get some restful sleep so you can start your day better, because nothing's worse than a day of just like night of like tossing and turning and then you have like a full work day. And, you know, you're killing yourself if you're like, your heart is racing and you're like, I just want to go back to sleep. And you're just there and you're watching the time on your phone just like tick, 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 tick. It's best just to get up. Just get up just for a little bit. Make yourself a cup of tea. Go chill out for a little bit. But yeah, that's my opinion on this.
I read a book.
Yeah, yeah.
I take, especially like a fantasy novel where it's like taking myself totally out of reality. That helps me.
I work, if I have like an article to write up, I just like, you know, it's kind of like mind off of bad stuff where you're just constant, you're just doing something, you know? So it's kind of like, you know, you're concentrating on something other than what you're anxious about.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't have many notes for this card. I think you hit the nail right on the head. And I think a lot of us, I know my family in particular, are going through a series right now of being extremely anxious, just because of the things that are going on in this glorious country today.
How relatable.
Because I'm proud to be an American. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyway, but yeah, I don't really have any other notes. I think you nailed it, girly.
Thank you. So today we're joined by a very special guests. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Who are you?
Well, thank you. I'm Christina, and I am a co-producer of the Windy City Parafest and a team member of our co-producing team at the Wisconsin Apparition Tracking Society, aka TWATs.
I love that. That's so good.
That's like Maria's favorite word.
That's my favorite word.
Well, I'm from Chicago, so I would have a different word. The Chicago something. Also a favorite. I'm Franky, and I am one fourth of the team, amazing team from Windy City Paranormal Festival.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys.
Oh, we're so happy to be on.
Thank you.
As we talked about when we were kind of like planning this, you both are doing paranormal investigations, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How often are you guys doing that sort of like, is this like a weekly thing? Is it all the time? Would you consider it a job?
No, I wish. We actually are just home from 2 nights of investigation, but we had not investigated since November of last year as a team, just because of holidays and planning for the festival. We have gotten together, but we hadn't had the opportunity to investigate. So I would say sometimes it's every month. Sometimes we find ourselves skipping a few months. But yeah, it's one of our favorite things to do. Really, just to hang out with the 4 of us. It's like, it's our excuse. It's like going to camp together. So
Not often enough. It's how often.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, honestly, like, I love the whole, how you said, like, it's like a camp. It really is, like, when you go and hang out with friends and do something like that, it's such a good time, and you're all doing something that you're all, like, passionate about, and it is fun to investigate. So it's an activity, like a little group activity to do. So you have everything there, like conversation starter and everything. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It feels like, as a person who was, raised culturally male, like, and this was originally an all-female team, and I was really honored to be asked to join. It's like, I've gotten a backstage pass to what I feel like all the slumber parties were, right? It's like junk food and spooky things and Ouija boards and ghosts and laughing your ass off, and yeah.
And light as a feather, stiff as a board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have not, in all the talk that we do about that game, we have not tried it yet. So,
What?
Yeah, I know we need to do it for Franky's sake.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You need to do it.
Yes.
It's a rite of passage.
It truly is. As a, on our team, like, I feel like that should be like the initiation.
There you go. Do you float?
There you
Let's
go.
Find out.
You gotta do
only
it.
join
Like,
if you
that
float.
is, you want the real, like, adolescent sleepover experience. This is it.
That's very true.
But so, like, what ghost experience or encounter was like a core memory for you guys? Like, maybe even as a team. Like, was there like a specific thing that has happened as a team that really stands out to you?
I think really our evolution of meditation to begin our investigations as a team, and then stepping into the way that our Estes sessions have evolved. And I don't even know that Estes is any longer the correct way for us to phrase it. I think we have to revisit that. And so watching Franky develop his new, like, baby ability to channel has been probably my favorite.
I love that.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
Yeah.
No, it's getting there. It's getting there, but it was a bit of a thing at the beginning. I was like, what the hell is happening to me?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's an unspoken truth for a lot of people when they are, like, figuring all that stuff out. Any kind of one of, like, the clairs or anything like that, it's very confusing for people, and I don't think that they, realize how confusing it could be. I don't think people are prepared for that.
Not just confusing. I feel like it's also, like, very, like, you're space is becoming invaded. So it's like, it feels a little icky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And realizing, looking back at all the memories or just the things that I had incorporated into my life as like, oh, that's just intrusive thoughts, or oh, that's just, whatever. It's like, oh, this could have been that the whole time, which
mayhaps not.
casts a really weird, like feeling for me to think back, like, oh, I'm having to revisit memories at this point, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I mean, our
I
team
love
is
that.
so good, and they're so supportive and so solid, and like they're just the most amazing people. So I feel very protected and loved, and it's amazing.
That's so good. I'm glad you have that, especially like to have a supportive little network that you can kind of bounce ideas off of. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So going off that, you both are trying to amplify unrepresented. I can speak. Underrepresented. Words are really hard, and I think it's really important to know that English is my first language. Underrepresented
Just don't get into podcasting and you'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as I just don't have to talk for a living, that will be great.
That's great.
Don't even get me started on writing.
We write so well. Like,
I write so poorly, and I'm constantly just like, God, I'm so glad I'm not an author. Okay, let's try that again. So the both of you are trying to amplify underrepresented voices in the paranormal field, which is very important. Something that we also work really hard to, amplify. So that being said, what initially made you realize that there was a need for amplifying these underrepresented voices, like within your field?
I think it was that this has been a field that has always interested me in one shape or another, and one of our fellow teammates, Kimberly, and I decided to go to Michigan Paracon. Just as a fun friends weekend together, before we were ever on an investigation team, or even before it was truly a concept for us. And as we walked in, we just recognized that we were in a room full of men. White men. And those who weren't really, and not like Franky.
I'm just teasing.
They weren't interested in creating space for anyone else, anyone who wasn't going to fit that mold. The energy was so evident, especially like as I spent the weekend there. Not that we felt unwelcome. There were lovely people that we met as well, but the majority of the people, that was what our experience was. We then went on to form our team, and it started with 4 women, and we then invited Franky along to just come on an investigation with us. Franky and I have known one another for many years, and during that time, it was an immediate connection. We knew that he belonged with the team. And
you knew I was T.W.A.T's material.
Yes.
Anyway, this guy is a real twat. Let's get him on.
And as a person, I have had such a great experience growing and learning myself through my friendship with each one of my teammates. But Franky brought something unique, of course, to that. And then we took him to a few events as he joined the team, and he really recognized the same thing as well. And as a team, we started just having a lot of conversations about it. When we as a team started to attend events just to gather knowledge, locations, we were really starting without a great deal of knowledge in how to book a location, so we were starting pretty fresh. And I feel as though because of that, like we just walked in as a team with our team t-shirts on that said T.W.A.T, and we had very mixed reactions to it. Some people loved it, some people didn't.
Who would not love that? That's aggravating.
People who I don't want to be friends with.
Some of the
boring people
aforementioned
that are boring and lame.
Some of the aforementioned old white guys.
Correct.
Literally, yeah.
Correct. And some women
The
as
same
well.
ones who get like super angry when there's like women on the internet within our community that they want to sleep with so badly, but those women are not interested. So instead of being normal and being like, oh, well, that stinks, they go, oh, we gotta get rid of these women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we run into that issue too, like even in the witchcraft community in our own like,
Massively.
thing. So yeah.
I call them occult bros.
Occult.
They're the occult bros. They're the worst.
Yeah.
And people get very like confused at that at first, and they're like, "Well, I'm a man and I'm in occultism," and it's like, "Well, I hate to be this about it, but not all occult bros." You know what I mean? Hashtag not all men, not all occult bros.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So that was evident for us as a team before Franky joined, and we had slowly started to have conversations and jokes about it. And I love the term occult bros and ghost bros. You know,
they're bros,
yeah.
man, and they're
Yep.
Get them out of here.
And
you had your turn, boys. Get out of here.
But yeah, like you spoke about like, so was there any like significant pushback you guys received from like,
I'm actually surprised that we haven't, at least not to our face. I mean, I would imagine that there's some saltiness, but I mean, again, most of this has just been a major love fest. Like just getting to know folks like you guys and getting, we're doing podcasts and stuff and meet, like I had to go out to LA to visit my son, and I got to meet Tammy and Bryce for the first time in real life. We had dinner, and it's like, I've known you guys forever now. I mean, everything has been so good, and people have actually contacted us and been like, we want to do the festival. And we're like, okay, we're booking next year now. So it's been such a great experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's so good. I'm really glad to hear that, because you always get nervous about these things when you're kind of treading on waters that are already kind of dominated by one group of people that it might not be that way. So I'm really glad to hear that for you guys, that it's not been the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I personally, I'm not anti, men doing this. Of course, it's not about that. It's just like, there are voices out there. There are tons of voices out there that just don't have a seat at a larger table. And if I can be a part of setting that table and just going like, please, share what you've got, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. That's great.
And I think that's going to be really important, especially this year. Like, I think, your guys, like the fest, I feel like is going to be like, like more community, and like we all need that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. When we started to run with the concept, we of course had no truly clear idea on how things were going to unfold, but we all had a fear, though we never fully discussed that, what the political environment might be and how that might influence things, until we were a little bit closer to that actual shift. And it's had a huge impact, of course, on all of us. And having this to look forward to has been very helpful. It's been a place for us to channel our energy. It's been a place to know that we're going to not necessarily make a difference. I don't know that. I mean, of course, that's everyone's hope, right? But just give everyone a moment to be able to feel seen and connected and have some joy in their life while still doing something that provides us that act as we move forward of making sure that we're not forgotten and we're not going to tolerate being mistreated or left out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's really important and super powerful, like kind of mission statement. I think it's great. Have you guys found that while kind of trying to platform different people, more unique voices, etc., that their approaches to the paranormal investigation or spirit communication in general has been different? Because here we're talking to these different communities that maybe we don't hear from so often, are their approaches more unique in your experience?
I definitely feel like that. I don't know if it's that, because in the television paranormal world, that's all a mess now, right?
Right.
So I don't know if the voices that we're hearing from these days for our fest are different because they're different inherently, or if it's just these aren't the people that were platformed on television, which TV requires a different thing. TV
Right.
requires investigating in a certain way. Its audiences expect a thing. But I mean, I've been really happy to find so much empathy for, spirit or whatever it is that we're investigating. The idea that we are on, you know, we are in places and on lands that aren't ours. Like that's been really fantastic to hear. And just this, it's less scary, spooky, that kind of thing. And more like, let's have an experience and let's talk to each other and let's hold each other and all of that, which has been, that's cool. Again, I don't know if it's because it's inherent in the voices or if it's just these aren't TV folks, but I'm going to
Right.
lean towards the fact that it is the new voices, because that just makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say, at least in my experience in the para community, the empathy thing, that's really growing in general. And I don't think, like, I remember, what was it, like 6 years ago, Maria? 7 years ago? I had done a bit that I was like, it was a bit, but it was serious, of like, don't be mean to ghosts. Stop yelling at ghosts. You don't have to scream at them to have a conversation. And at the time, people were like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. And I'm like, I'm being very for real. And I've noticed that tone has really shifted in people talking about this, probably in the last like 4 years. There's been this massive shift, and I think that's wonderful. And I do wonder if it's the difference of TV versus people just kind of, as a culture, being more empathetic. I don't know.
Yeah. Or just more, as you know, we're talking about more voices entering the chat, because there's tons of like different spiritualities out there that they actually honor, spirits. They don't just,
Right.
get out of here. They're like, oh, why are you here? And they even like venerate them and stuff.
Yeah. And if you're like a TikToker, like you're controlling your own narrative. It's your voice. There's not a producer and all that stuff. So if you're coming from that realm, like Joshua Darren, or, Tammy and Bryce, like they're controlling their own voice. So we're hearing from them as opposed to like a whole production company saying, oh, we need the ratings and we need all that stuff.
Right.
I
I mean, shocking stuff is what drives ratings, right?
Yep.
I also think there's been a lot more, and social media has allowed for there to be a lot more crossover in sharing as a paranormal investigator your other interests and how they connect with the hobbies that you're doing, so how they all can come together. So, for example, we sometimes have used meditation and witchcraft and energy work as we go in to do an investigation, and that's something that has never been a mainstream publicized situation. Or you see someone going in who is heavily focused on ancestry worship and going in and bringing that into their investigation. And I really enjoy that we have that ability to get to know someone more deeply as the investigator, and watching someone investigate in that manner is something that was never being given a platform previously that I had come across. And I enjoy that is something that I can watch. It might not be something that I'm going to partake in because it doesn't feel right for me, but being able to celebrate someone else's comfort in connecting who they are as an entire being, and bringing that into each thing and being able to carry it instead of compartmentalize their life has been one of the things that I enjoy the most about seeing more diversity.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I do think that kind of like, at least from Maria and Mai's aspect coming into the festival, is that, of course, we're witches and we talk to spirits in our own ways and using tools that are at our access. And I think that that is such an underrepresented portion of investigating in general, and the reality for a lot of spiritual people is that they do have these conversations, whether it's intentional or not, and like what that looks like. And I don't know. I think that that's cool that we get to talk about it, and it's not such a, I don't know, silly concept. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right words for
goes
it.
so
It's
well
more
together.
understood.
It
Yes.
really does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Robyn and I, with like tarot readings and stuff, we incorporate spirit work with our readings, and it's just like such an important and integral part of like connecting to our clients and, you know, the spirits that surround them and stuff. And so, yeah.
My day job, I do crystal energy healing, and I incorporate my mediumship abilities, my energy work. And so I have brought that with me into our investigation as well and shared it with the team. And they each bring something unique to that. And I've been a solitary practitioner since I was 13. So I had never really had the experience other than through some mentorship of doing spell work with a group. It's something that just never interested me. And I love doing that with our team. I love that process. I love the energy, the trusting, and I love to see other people have that experience as well. So I enjoy that. I've enjoyed your content for quite a while now. So I've been very giddy about this. You probably both had me the most flustered, I would say, just because I was so excited. No, I love it. I love it.
Well, and it's like in my day job, I read tarot for a living. That's what I do. And I incorporate things like mediumship, etc., into that. And so it is for me also a very natural transition to take something that I already use as a tool for communication with guides to spirits, and it just makes sense.
Right.
Like, it's one of those things that I think a lot of people, they put themselves in these boxes that they feel they have to have all these big and expensive and fancy tools, and it's like, those are great. I'm no knocking or mocking of that at all. But the reality is that in any kind of spiritual realm and belief, most of us utilize tools that we already are familiar with and have access to. You know, we have all these really amazing equipment now for investigation, but, 30 years ago, people were using handheld cassette recorders, and that was it.
Yes.
Yeah. And before that, they were just using their senses and trying to reach out beyond their own senses. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that, we're in this, not to be all fuck capitalism, because I was already doing that earlier, but we're in this world of overconsumption now, and we think we can't do things because we don't have $1,500 to drop on equipment. And the fact of the matter is that that's not real life. that is television, and television is like what we see on television serves a purpose. It invites us to see an aspect of investigation and an aspect of spirit communication, but that's not a necessarily accurate reflection of the majority of investigators, right?
Right.
I think as we see the field open up to more people, a much more diverse filling of energy and humans, we see a return to connecting with our energy and not feeling this need to prove to everyone that we can gather evidence. It's more about our own feeling of connection and our own experience that we're having, whether it's alone or with people. We don't have this sense of, I need to prove what I'm doing to justify it and show that I'm trustworthy to people I don't know. Right.
Yeah, Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think like that's such a like like the whole needing the devices is such an American sort of like outlook on investigating and dealing with spirits. So yeah, it's nice to return back to basics.
Yes.
It's really good.
We have tons of
Yeah.
equipment, and I would say we have a couple of
equipment's
things.
fun.
Yeah,
Fun.
we have a couple of things that's what we pull out. And honestly, it's nice to be able to go back and review it, but cameras drive me crazy because the battery is always dying. It's always making noise. There's always an adjustment. We always miss something because it died right before it starts, or it doesn't. I'm not out there to prove to anyone that I have the ability to have this communication. So,
exactly.
yeah.
It's kind of like, when you get into like social media and you're like, oh, I'm just going to do it for fun. And then all of a sudden it's like work and you're not like enjoying it anymore. And that's like kind of like returning it to where it's just fun.
That's Maria's talking about herself right now.
I think I've returned to fun.
That's where as soon as, especially we're talking about social media, as soon as I stopped being like, I have to provide a specific kind of content, have way more fun. Yeah. It's like literally, everyone look at the loaf of bread I made today.
But are there any like paranormal investigators, researchers, or like storytellers that from like underrepresented backgrounds that you think people should be more like, keep an eye out for, like anyone who is kind of like rising right now in the field?
I've really enjoyed watching Joshua Darren over the last year. Like, I didn't know who he was. I mean, when I got turned on to him, he already had 250,000 followers on TikTok, so I was late to the game. But now I'm seeing him do all these cons and stuff, and now he's getting other people excited about our con. We actually, because of him, we haven't announced this yet, but by the time this comes out, it should be announced. But Joanne from Ghost Brothers is joining us as well.
Amazing.
And that's because of Joshua's, because they were at a con together, and Joshua was just like, oh my God, I'm so excited about this thing. And it became, a whole thing. Tony Lewis, we've got this really newcomer, Rockette Fox, who is they're a tattoo artist from the St. Louis area, but they were part of a YouTube show called Liminal TV that's coming out. I think there's like 1 or 2 episodes. I know there's one, but and it's this like queer focused paranormal investigation show, but they're doing all the production themselves, so it's their voice, it's what they want to talk about, and I love that, really good. And I think that they're going to be a huge voice. I can't wait to see what they're bringing to the fest.
I'm so excited. Yeah. I'm so excited. Like, I think this is going to be such a fun event, and I really hope that like people are as excited as I am. Like, I get that I'm biased because like we're going to be there, but I think it's going to be so good. The lineup is so good. Like 10 out of 10. I'm so stoked.
And we're going to have fun. That's the whole point. Like, every event that I went to with my team, I enjoyed every piece of it, but the best parts were going to dinner or hanging out at the bar late at night and just getting to know people and hear stories and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we want to lean into, because the other stuff is fantastic, but you can go to those events. Like, this is the one where, I mean, yes, we will share and we will learn and all that stuff, but it's mostly about being family, being a weirdo family, and just celebrating that. So, like,
it's when the freaks get together.
Yeah, right? Freaks off the leash.
The fringe people, and they're kissing and holding hands, and their boyfriends have boyfriends.
That's the after party.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
My wife is part of roller derby, and so that sounds like their after parties too. So it's funny.
Their boyfriends have boyfriends, and their girlfriends have girlfriends, and they're kissing and holding hands. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so fun.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, let's leave it on that. Can you guys tell everyone where they can find you, where they can find out more information about the Parafest, just everything, please?
Yes, so our website is windycityparafest.com, and you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And we are so excited to have you join us in Chicago in person, if you can, from June 12th through the 15th of 2025 of this year. I know that you might have heard that there might be the dates of June 12th through the 14th. Originally, those were the dates, but we were able to add a little something on the 15th. And so that's why you might hear those conflicting dates. So if you can stick around for the 15th, please do. But for those of you who cannot join us in person, we are really excited to announce that we are going to be offering live stream tickets as well. It's really important to us that we can open this up to as many people as possible, sharing in this experience and coming together and just having a place to feel connected during this time.
Yes.
So I'll let Franky talk a little bit more about our live stream tickets.
Yeah. So we are also doing a special code for your listeners and fans and followers and stands. If they use the word coffee at the checkout, they get 10% off of a ticket, and that's in-person tickets or live streams. And also something that we want to mention is that a portion of every ticket is going to an organization called greaterthanhate.org, which is a fantastic charity. It's a bunch of different charities that do like LGBTQ work. They do environmental racism work, like all sorts of things, getting together and pooling the resources and pooling, admin and stuff so that they cut the costs down per, running a nonprofit is expensive. So they're doing killer work, and by buying a ticket, you can actually make that work exponentially better.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much for giving our followers that.
Of course.
Yes, thank you. They're gonna eat it up. I know they are. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us. Yes, I cannot wait to see you both in person. We'll hug and kiss and cuddle and make out.
They're girlfriends? Platonically.
My new girlfriends.
Yes. Consensual platonic kissing.
Was correct. Yes. You must ask first.
Yes. But when you say yes, because you will, we're going to do so much kissing.
I can't wait.
Normalize platonic kissing.
Please. It's fine.
So, Robyn, what is stirring your cauldron this week?
Thank you so much for asking. I have a couple of things stirring my cauldron this week. First of all, Frank found my mic mount. I mean, for those on YouTube, but Maria can see it.
Fancy person.
Oh,
fancy streamer.
I'm a podcaster. We got this thing on clearance. It was a return item. When you and I first started podcasting. And I love this thing. But it was not practical in the bus. It just takes up so much space. But now that I have a whole office, that's so exciting and I love it. 12 out of 10. The other thing that is stirring my cauldron right now is I've almost finished my first knitting project.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
I am really proud of me too. It's so stupid. It's not stupid. We're allowed to enjoy things. It's not stupid. But I've crocheted since I was 10. And so crocheting is second nature to me. I don't even have to pay attention. I'm just you know what I mean? I don't even have to pay attention at all when I'm crocheting. Yeah. And knitting is always been very intimidating to me because it's so much slower. And every time I've tried to do it before, it's if I dropped a stitch, I didn't know what to do. And my tension was too tight and everything was wrong. And I have a friend here who is an amazing knitter. And she was well, I'll just help you. And she's been helping me. And I took on a project of making my husband a sweater as my first project. And it's going so well. I've done almost the entire body. I just have a couple more stitches on one of the shoulders, and then I'm done with the entire body, and I've just got to do the arms. And I'm feeling so proud of myself. So,
you better take all the pictures. All the pictures.
Who said that you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Of course you can. Oh, I'm so excited for you.
I'm excited too. I'm really proud of myself. It's of course very silly, right? To be like, feel silly. So proud of myself at like my age, but I'm really proud of myself.
And I'm like, you're connecting, I want to make a Twitter for me
next. Cause I always make projects. I always make things for other people. I never make stuff for myself. So I'm like really excited to make stuff for myself as well, because I'm trying to like, kind of going back to what you and I have talked about a few times on here about we're taking this year as like a low spend year, a like no fast fashion, no fast anything, like just like living slower. Yeah. And so I'm trying to like rebuild my wardrobe now that like I'm done breastfeeding and like I'm done having kids, and I'm trying to rebuild my wardrobe with like thrifting and like making it myself. And I'm vibing with it. So I'm really excited.
I'm excited for
I'm excited to have this skill in my repertoire.
It's a good skill, honestly.
Thank you.
Soon Robyn's gonna be like spinning her own yarn.
Oh my God. Honestly, that would be so a me thing to do. Like, I'd be like, I've decided to start spinning my own yarn from locally sourced wool. That would be some shit I would do. Frank, if you're listening to this, don't worry. Well, I know you're listening to this because you're editing it, but don't worry. I'm not actually going to do that. At least not anytime soon. You owe me chickens first, big guy. So, Maria, what's not stirring your cauldron this week?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. So, this is kind of going off our tarot card and our earlier conversation before the podcast. I am so sick of like, with everything that is happening, like politically, like people who have a lot of privilege in the situation, like gaslighting others about how bad it is, because they're so like, they believe so much that like bad stuff won't happen to those that they care about, to, to like any person that they know. Like they think all of this is outside of them. Like, they're going after criminals, they're going after like trans people who are trying to take over women's spaces. Like, it's like, guys, like this is all bad. This is all bad.
Do you know that there's that poem, and I believe it was from the Holocaust, after the Holocaust, of course, where it was like, first they came for this person, then they came for that person, and then they came for me, and there was nobody left for me. Like, that's what's going on. And I'm very stressed out about all of this, because like when they first started doing the deportation stuff, this is coming from our end, my end, because my husband is an immigrant. I was like trying to like console myself, because I'm like, well, my husband's here legally, like it'll be fine. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like he's not an illegal immigrant. We'll be fine. And now they're fucking arresting people who have green cards for protesting Israel, which is not one of our countries. Yeah. That's weird. That's suspicious.
And not to mention, like, protesting is supposed to be innately an American
act. It's a Second Amendment right, right? It's a Second Amendment right. It's the right to peaceful assembly, the right to peaceful protest.
Yeah, it's really rich hearing from the people who are like, I have freedom of speech, be like, but not
unless
like
you say something I don't like.
Yeah. But not like that.
It's like, I was talking to a family member about our stresses with Frank being an immigrant. And I'm like, I want to believe that there's nothing to worry about because like he is here legally. I want to believe it's okay. I'm like, but simultaneously, like I'm seeing people that are like getting arrested, or like that woman that was just like kidnapped off the street.
That was so scary. That
So
was
scary.
so scary.
Because she wrote a article like about the college and their stance on Israel. She didn't even go to a she wrote an article. So now we don't have freedom of press? Like, what do you mean? So anyway.
And it's scary that like these people are disappearing. Like no one can get a hold of them or know where they are. Like
it's so scary. Like it's so scary. And like it's like, oh, I was talking to a family member about it and they were like, oh, but like Frank hasn't done anything wrong. And I'm like, neither have these people.
What about the dad that was literally sent to,
What about the hairdresser that was sent to the Salvadorian prison for having Venezuelan gang tattoos? And the gang tattoo was a crown with his mom's name underneath it.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking about. Crazy.
Like, are you fucking kidding with me? This is just racism. It's just, people are ridiculous. Anyway, I don't even want to get on this because we've gone on like so many coffee talks where we've gotten on tangents about it, and I'm sure people are annoyed with it at this point.
No,
but yeah,
like anyone who's listening to us is like, yes, we're just validating their feelings. Like anyone who's like, no, is probably the people who should not.
You're a stinky bozo weirdo freak. That's what I think. I think that if you don't agree with us on these topics, you're a stinky weirdo.
That will.
You stink.
You're using toddler speech. Just so funny.
Did somebody take a dookie in their pants? Oh no, it's just you? Oh my gosh, okay. Every week, we talk about shops and creatives that we are loving right now. These could be anyone from social media accounts, books, other podcasts, art, just anything that we have found organically that we are loving. And as a reminder, these are not paid ads. These are just people we think are sick and are... The third option is a listener submission, which are people that you think are sick. So if you've got somebody that you think the community should hear about, shoot us an email, shoot us a DM. We would love to hear about it. Yeah. That being said, Maria, who are you into this week?
So a Kickstarter just dropped and I was like, yes, please. Robyn's going to make fun of me for it, but it is.
I'm not going to make fun of you, but I see the name. I know what color it's going to be. Audience, listeners, can we guess what the color palette might be? You guessed right. It's black and gold. Yes. Go on, Maria.
And antique black and gold, like perfect. The best of all worlds.
The perfect combination.
But it's from kokarina.co at Instagram and just about everywhere. And it's the Renais, hopefully I said that correctly, Renais Tarot. And this tarot deck is like very different from the tarot deck that we know today. Like it's one of those old Italian decks. It doesn't have as big of a major arcana as
maybe it's the Renais then, like Renaissance.
I'm not sure. Well, that's the name. The Renais. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm guessing the pronunciation here with you.
But it is a very beautiful deck, and I'm very excited to learn like a new type of tarot. I mean, I do have a few decks that are like that are unique, and I always find it very interesting to use those because it definitely like, it's like learning an oracle deck, because especially like major arcana or anything. And I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to it. And I definitely did sign up for that Kickstarter. And the Kickstarter is still going. So if you want to go and grab it while, technically Kickstarters are usually better priced than when they actually drop like on websites and stuff. So go check it out. Go check it out.
Yeah.
What's your choice?
My choice. It's so it came from a video that definitely went viral. Death and Decorum is the shop, and they did tooth fairies using teeth. So like it's butterfly wings and it's a tooth in the center. And it's like the video was like, all your girl wants is a real tooth fairy or something like that. And I was like, yeah, it's me. I'm your girl. I want a real tooth fairy.
Oh, those are so cute.
Aren't they so cute? There was one that had like a pastel purple butterfly wings with the tooth, and I'm just like, give it to me. Give it to me, Rachel.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, so good. I'm like, yeah, I have to have that. I gotta have it. I'm gonna probably keep an eye out for their drops and get one.
Yeah, okay. Good luck with that.
I know. Me and drops are like, I put reminders in my phone and I never score a single thing that I want for drops. I just have the worst luck for it.
Same, bestie.
Our listener choice this week is actually an Etsy shop called TamarasIncense. Somebody in our Discord has been purchasing from them and loves their products and has recommended it to everybody. My understanding is that they basically make the blends themselves. And I mean, the feedback from the people is 10 out of 10. So if you guys want a small business incense to support, TamarasIncense is also a star seller on Etsy. So there you go.
Yeah. And honestly, and like, I know there's a ton of like really great like store brand incense, but I always find like the ones that are actually made by like people like you, not like manufactured, they are the best. They burn really well, they smell really good, and it just seems like an overall clean burn comparatively to anything that's manufactured like on a mass scale.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us this week. We hope to see you again on Friday, April 11th for our next Coffee Talk episode, or on April 18th for the 6th episode of Season 6. 6. Keep an eye out on our social media or head to our website, coffeeandcauldrons.com, to find out more information and see what we're up to. And don't forget to join us April 26th for our next class with Christine Grace, author of Witch at the Forest Edge, for her class on hedge crossing. And as a reminder, this class is now going to be available to purchase on its own without signing up for the Patreon for $10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And additionally, on our Patreon, Magical Beginnings, we offer a special 25-minute part 2 episode, a huge library of articles about witchcraft, a Discord community full of fun events and discussions. And we even have tiers to offer one-on-one conversations with Robyn and myself. And even with the conversations, like, we could talk about witchcraft, or we can do a tarot reading for you. Like, it's whatever, you would like to do.
Whatever your heart desires.
Yeah.
And please, if you are loving our sexy, sensual, chef's kiss voices, take a moment to review us from whatever streaming service that you are tuning in from, such as Apple Podcasts or Spotify or somewhere else. We love reading your reviews, and rating us with 5 stars, or really rating us at all, helps us to be seen by others. So we really appreciate it if you could take just the 2 seconds to give us a little smash on the review button. Thank you for everyone who already has, and everybody who will in the future. We really do appreciate you.
We really do. And again, this is Coffee and Cauldrons
with Robyn from At a Tired Witch Everywhere.
And I'm Maria from Magic with Maria Everywhere.
All right, ready?
You ready? Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Bye, witches.
witches.
So late. That was terrible. 0 out of 10.
That was not great. That was 0 out of 10. But points for effort.